The 12-year-old boy stood in front of the billionaire's desk. His hands were shaking. "I can double your money," Danny whispered. Marcus Ashford laughed in his face. But then, he stopped laughing. 2 hours earlier, Marcus Ashford wasn't just rich. He was powerful. His hedge fund controlled $800 million. His office sat on the 47th floor. His watch cost more than most people's houses. He saw people as numbers. As opportunities. As tools. "Get me the quarterly reports," he snapped at his assistant. She rushed out. Everyone rushed around Marcus. Because if you didn't move fast enough, you were gone. Danny Reeves lived in a different universe. A 2-bedroom apartment. Thin walls. Constant noise. His mom worked double shifts at the nursing home. She came home exhausted every night. His dad? Gone since Danny was 4. Tonight, Danny was at the public library. Again. 1 hour of free internet. That's all they gave you. He stared at stock market charts on the screen. He'd been doing this every single day. For 2 years. 5 minutes left, the librarian called out. Danny scribbled faster in his 99-cent notebook. He'd found something. A pattern nobody else saw. And tomorrow, he'd prove it. Danny walked through the glass doors of the financial tower. Security stopped him immediately. "Kid, you lost?" the guard asked. "I have a meeting with Marcus Ashford." The guard laughed. "Sure you do." But Danny didn't leave. He waited. Finally, a secretary walked by. Danny followed her to the elevator. "Excuse me, you can't." The doors closed. 47th floor. Marcus looked up from his computer. A kid stood in his doorway. Worn sneakers. Faded jeans. Stained t-shirt. "Can I help you?" Marcus asked coldly. "Mr. Ashford, my name is Danny Reeves. I have a proposition for you." Marcus leaned back in his $3,000 chair and laughed. "A proposition? From a kid who looks homeless?" His voice dripped with cruelty. "Let me guess. You're here to beg. Your mom sent you to pull on my heartstrings so I'd write a charity check." Danny's face turned red. "Here's a lesson, kid," Marcus continued. "The world doesn't reward need. It rewards value. And you have nothing of value." The words hung in the air like poison. But Danny didn't move. "I don't need charity," Danny said quietly. "I came here to make you money." Marcus's smile faded. "Make me money? You?" He gestured at his wall of monitors. His Bloomberg terminal. His team of PhD analysts. "I make more before breakfast than your family sees in a year. And you think you can help me?" "Yes, sir. I can." Marcus leaned forward. "This should be entertaining." "Okay, kid. I'll bite. What's your big idea?" Danny pulled out his cheap notebook. Pages and pages of numbers. Graphs. Calculations. "I've been studying your public portfolio," Danny said. "You're losing money in places you don't even see." "Everyone can look up public portfolios," Marcus shot back. "You're wasting my time. But not everyone can see this." Danny opened to a marked page. There are micro-inefficiencies in after-hours trading. Gaps that happen in 3-minute windows. Most algorithms miss them because they're looking at the big picture. He placed the notebook on Marcus's desk. "I can show you how to exploit those gaps. With your capital, you could make an extra 2 to 3% annually. That's $16 to $24 million in additional returns." The office went silent. Marcus stared at the notebook. Then at Danny. Then back at the notebook. You're telling me, Marcus said slowly, that a 12-year-old kid found something my entire team missed? Yes, sir. Because they weren't looking for it. Marcus grabbed the notebook. Page after page of detailed analysis. Patterns. Predictions. Proof. This wasn't a child's fantasy. This was real. Where did you learn this? Marcus demanded. The library. 1 hour of internet a day for 2 years. Danny pulled out a second notebook. I've been paper trading. Simulating the strategy. Over 6 months, my portfolio beat the S&P 500 by 12%. Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. Respect. Why me? Marcus asked. Why show this to me? Danny's voice cracked. Because I don't have time. He took a breath. My mom is sick. She needs surgery. $30,000. We don't have $30,000. We barely have $300. Tears filled his eyes, but he blinked them back. I don't want charity, Mr. Ashford. I want a job. I'll show you how to make this money, and you pay me 10% of the returns. That's fair. The raw honesty hit Marcus like a punch. 20 years in finance. Surrounded by liars. By people who'd stab you in the back for a percentage point. And here was a 12-year-old offering a fair trade. Value for value. Marcus walked to his window. The city spread out below him. Millions of lives reduced to the size of ants. He'd built his empire by being ruthless. By seeing people as transactions. But looking at his reflection, he saw something else. Doubt. Not about Danny's abilities. About himself. About what he'd become. Tell me something, Danny, Marcus said. If this works, what will you do with the money? After you help your mom? I'll keep learning. And maybe I'll help other kids like me. Kids who are smart but don't have opportunities. Marcus closed his eyes. When had he stopped caring about things like that? Okay, he said, turning around. We'll test it. 1 week. $1 million. If it works, we'll talk long-term. Danny's face exploded with joy. Thank you, Mr. Ashford. I won't let you down. I know you won't. 1 week later. Danny arrived every day at 3:30. Still in his worn clothes. Still carrying his heavy backpack. He'd point at the screen. There. See that dip? That's algorithmic selling. But if you read the actual article, it's not material. In 90 seconds, humans will recognize the overreaction and buy. He was right. Again. And again. And again. By the end of the week, the test portfolio outperformed Marcus's main fund by 3.2%. Marcus sat alone that Friday evening. He picked up his phone. Rebecca, I need you to set up an internship program. For underprivileged youth with aptitude in quantitative fields. I'm allocating $5 million to start. Silence on the other end. Marcus, are you feeling okay? For the first time in 20 years, Marcus said, I think I am. 6 months later. Danny had earned enough to pay for his mom's surgery. But something bigger was happening. Marcus had changed. He started learning the names of his janitors. His security guards. The people he'd walked past for years without seeing. He launched the internship program. 20 students from underfunded schools. Kids like Danny. Hungry. Brilliant. Desperate for a chance. One day, Marcus met with an old colleague. Robert Chen. One of the most ruthless investors in the city. Marcus, what the hell are you doing? Robert demanded. This charity nonsense. People are saying you've gone soft. Soft? Marcus smiled. Our returns are up 14% this year. You know what I mean. You're wasting money on street kids who can't pay you back. Marcus set down his drink. Let me tell you about one of those street kids. His name is Danny. He's 13. He generated $40 million in returns for my fund this year. Robert didn't blink. So exploit that. Pay him minimum wage and take the credit. Is that really smart business? Marcus asked. Or is that just the story we tell ourselves to justify being predators? Robert stood up. You've lost it. This sentimentality will destroy you. He walked away. Marcus didn't feel angry. He felt relief. Marcus stood in front of a room full of students at an inner-city high school. Danny was beside him. 15 now. About to start college on a full scholarship. The students looked skeptical. Another rich guy in a suit telling them they could succeed. I'm not here to tell you that hard work guarantees success, Marcus said. Because that's a lie. The system is rigged against people who start with nothing. The students looked surprised. But the system being rigged doesn't mean you're powerless. It means you have to be smarter. You have to find the cracks. He gestured to Danny. This young man taught me that. He didn't just solve his own problems. He created a solution that helped hundreds of other kids. After the talk, a girl approached him. Mr. Ashford, I'm good at math. Really good. But my counselor said I should give up on schools like MIT. Marcus crouched down to her level. What's your name? Sophia. Sophia, your worth isn't determined by your bank account. If you're good at math, you belong at MIT. If money is the only thing standing in your way, we'll figure it out. You come find me. Her eyes filled with tears. Really? Really? That evening, Marcus returned to his office. The sterile showcase of wealth was gone. Now there were photos of interns. Drawings from the elementary school his firm adopted. Thank you letters from students. His phone buzzed. A message from his ex-wife. Heard about what you're doing. I'm proud of you. This is the man I thought I married. Marcus smiled sadly. He couldn't undo the past. But he could change the future. A knock at the door. Danny stood there, backpack on his shoulder. Thought you left, Marcus said. I wanted to come back and say something. What's that? Thank you. For giving me a chance. For seeing past the holes in my shoes. Marcus felt his throat tighten. Danny, I should be thanking you. You saved me. I was so lost in making money that I forgot about purpose. You reminded me that success isn't just about what you earn. It's about what you do with it. Danny grinned. We saved each other, then. Yeah. I guess we did. After Danny left, Marcus stood at his window one last time. The city lights flickered below. Thousands of them. Each one a life. A story. A person fighting to make something of themselves. For years, he'd looked down with superiority. But now he understood. He wasn't above anyone. He was part of it all. And for the first time in decades, Marcus liked what he saw in his reflection. Not because of his wealth or his success. But because he finally saw someone who used his resources to create opportunities. Someone who built bridges instead of walls. The boy in worn sneakers had walked into his office with a dream. And in return, he'd given Marcus something far more valuable than money. He'd given him redemption. Purpose. Humanity. Marcus turned from the window and spoke softly to himself. The real measure of wealth isn't what you accumulate. It's what you create for others. Because in the end, we're not remembered for what we earned, we're remembered for who we helped rise. So remember, your circumstances don't define your potential. And if you ever make it to the top, don't pull the ladder up behind you. Reach down and help others climb. Because that's what true success looks like.